You want me to break it down? You want me to break it down? Kiss on your neck, I probably go down. Don't move too fast, baby, slow down. I pick you up and then I lay you down. Cause this what you want. Cause this what you need. Girl, I put it on. And we can go long. This is your song. Break it down.
Drive me crazy. It's hard to say.
Welcome back to Chronic Conversations. It's your girl, Mary Jane.
Your girl, Talissa.
And Gabby G. We have a special guest today, Pablo Ramos from the Health Department. How you doing?
What's your
Thanks for having me.
position? What's your position at the Health Department?
So my official position is the COVID-19 clinic coordinator. Basically, I go around all over McLennan County and basically schedule COVID-19 clinics to get people vaccinated. That's pretty. It seems like a pretty simple job, but it's very intense. 45 hours a week. Plus, I'm also a full-time firefighter, paramedic, so I'm doing about 90 hours a week right now. But the name of the game right now is try to get people vaccinated, and our county is really not vaccinated. So
Right.
yeah, we got to get the numbers up. So.
And how did you come into doing all the vaccines at different clinics and all that stuff?
So I tell you how it all got started. I'm a firefighter, paramedic with a local fire department, not Waco. I started doing the mass clinics back in January, doing about 500 a day. Me and my fellow firefighter brothers were a little quicker than some of the nurses, so they called us back. When they were all over in April, they called me and my partner back, and they were like, hey, you want to come back? We're going to start doing mobile clinics. And for about a month, we might have been doing about 4 or 5 clinics a week. And slowly but surely, they just started kind of picking up with the Delta variant coming into it. And we went from a crew of 3 vaccinators up to about 24 now, about 23, 24. So, and I'm pretty much in charge of scheduling the clinics and then scheduling the vaccinators. And we also have 4 admins that are a lot of help.
So
they don't
4 to
actually
5 a month has come to
about 7 a day at the most.
Wow.
And we're doing at least 3 to 4 a day at the minimum. But last Thursday, like I said, we had 7 clinics all over town.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's good to know. I didn't even know that.
Are you from Waco?
Born and raised in Brownsville, Texas, on the border by the sea.
Okay.
Proud hometown. I moved to Waco in 1998. My mom got married. My stepfather had a job at Baylor, and I've been here ever since. I'm a Waco High Lion.
Hey.
Okay.
02, yeah. And I've been here ever since. Graduated high school in 02, went to Fire Academy, paramedic school. I've been a firefighter 17 years.
Wow.
I'm 37 now, so I'm a little old. Can't grow hair on my head no more. We'll talk about that tip later.
Hey, we're in our 30s too. You ain't that old.
Chill. You're telling us old now.
But yeah, Waco's my home now.
Yeah.
So even though I work in a city in Bell County, this is my home.
So when all this started happening, because you were a firefighter already, you were a first responder already, how did it hit you? Like how important it was for everyone to get vaccine? Because there's a lot of people who are scared, including myself.
So I was one of those in the beginning. I've never had a flu shot. I've never had nothing other than the mandatory shot that made you get in school or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get the COVID vaccine. Obviously, this is something we've never dealt with before in our lifetime, that's for sure. And so seeing firsthand as a paramedic who actually rides the ambulance, front lines, people are dying. That's bottom line. People that shouldn't be dying are dying right now because they're not vaccinated. And that's a big controversy because you got the people out there that they're going to be dead against it regardless. No matter what you tell them, no matter what facts you spit at them, the science behind it, they're just going to be against it just because.
The conspiracy theories.
Oh, there's a lot of them out there.
Scares
we can
people
talk
the
about
most.
those too. I mean, yeah. And so seeing firsthand people dying that shouldn't be dying. I mean, it's sad.
That was the most.
That was the big kicker for me.
Right.
And then so when they first came around, they were only offering either, depending on where you were at, either Pfizer or Moderna. You didn't have a choice like you do now. I got all 3, by the way. I got Johnson & Johnson. I got all 3 of those. So
Okay, drug dealer.
Yeah, yeah.
I got what you need.
I got what you need. You gotta come to me. But yeah, so when I got vaccinated, I was nervous like everybody else. This is something that a lot of people were saying, like not enough research, but there really has been a lot of research. This particular type of vaccine has been in the works for about 10 years now. So it's not something that just kind of came up with in a month. And
was it in the works for COVID or was
For SARS, I believe it was the, which one was it? The swine flu type. It's kind of the same. It's a SARS vaccine. Sorry, my work phone goes off all day, every day.
Man.
Yeah. But the more I did research into it and the more I got my mom vaccinated now, so I'm happy. She's getting her second shot today. I was nervous about that just because I wanted my family vaccinated. I think it's important. I also believe in your right to choose. I also believe in your right to have the freedom to do what you want with your body and what you put into you. You shouldn't be mandated, I don't think.
Right.
But that's a whole nother subject. I don't touch that too much.
Well, that's why we have you here because neither one of us are vaccinated. But we have our questions, we have our concerns, and we want to know facts. And I know I'm leaning towards getting vaccinated, mainly for travel. I want to be able to, go wherever I want without them bothering me. Right. But also, I've lost people to COVID, and I have a diabetic niece. I had my my mom has underlying conditions. She is vaccinated, but even with that, she could still get the virus. And so it's mainly for other people around me. But also, the only thing that's holding me back is I'm scared. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I've seen videos online where people are paralyzed or people got worse, sick, or people still dying with the vaccine. So I'm confused. Like, and you know how they say about the research. Right. COVID's only been here a year and then some change, almost 2 now. And I didn't know that they've been doing this research for 10 years. Yep. I know, that's another thing. We don't know, is this a government virus? Is it the government, put out the virus and now they want us to get vaccinated? It's or are they putting a chip in us? You know what I mean? Right.
Well, not to mention, you can still, give it to someone even if you are vaccinated as well.
So what is the point of getting vaccinated if you can still get sick?
So you ready for the numbers? You ready for the McLennan County numbers?
Yes, I want to know that.
Yes.
So in the height of the Delta variant, which was about a month ago, we've been seeing about a 50-day uprise and a 50-day downrise. That's kind of what the research is showing us. But at its highest, we had about 94% of the people that were intubated or dead in McLennan County unvaccinated, period. The other 6% that were dead and intubated, were vaccinated, had bad underlying conditions, were obese, had heart troubles, and those are just the cold hard facts. The people that were vaccinated were getting COVID and were spreading COVID, but they're not dying. Maybe they're sick as a dog and fever and not being able to breathe for a little bit. I've had pneumonia. I've had bronchitis.
Have you had COVID?
Not that I know of. And let me tell you,
I feel that way too.
I'm in like 3 or 4 people's houses every day at the fire department when I'm there because people call. That's what we're getting right now. Like if I run 14 EMS calls, 9 or 10 of them are COVID right now. Wow. We get there, their O2 saturations are 88%, 85%. They're guppy breathing. They just want help. And I ask them, how long you been like this? A week? And they wait too long. And then the next question I ask, because it's part of our report that we got to do, are you vaccinated? No. So the people that are getting COVID that are vaccinated are not calling 911. And that's a fact from what I've seen. And that's my first, I'm sorry, hit the mic. That's the firsthand things that I've seen. I mean, I could sit here and read you statistics all day long, but I'm seeing it firsthand.
So the ones who are vaccinated, who have passed and are vaccinated, as opposed to the ones who have passed and are not vaccinated, it's a way bigger percentage.
Oh, yes, for sure, yeah.
And they're all underlying conditions?
The ones that were vaccinated that died or intubated had underlying conditions. I mean,
so no one has died that was vaccinated that didn't have underlying conditions?
That's 100. There's always a couple because you know nothing's 100%. Nothing. But I mean, the chances are if you're vaccinated, you're
a lot greater.
Yeah, it's
You can fight it better.
To me, it's common sense. It makes me rethink the whole flu thing too, because like I said, I'm 37 years old, never had a flu shot.
What I kind of get from it, is people who are vaccinated that are getting it, as opposed to people who are not vaccinated are getting it. It is significantly higher than the ones who are not vaccinated.
Correct.
Whether they have underlying conditions or not.
The underlying conditions on if you're vaccinated obviously put you at a disadvantage. I mean,
either way, if you're vaccinated or not.
Yeah. It just if you're obese, if you're 5'8" and you weigh 350, if you've had a heart attack, if you have diabetes, and that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of things that you can actually it's self-inflicted, unfortunately, sometimes.
So even if you're vaccinated, they say you should still wear your mask.
That's recommended, yes.
So
I'll tell you how many times I wear my mask. Never.
I know.
Is that because you're vaccinated and you feel like, you're not scared of it? Or is it just because...
So let me put the disclaimer there. Like, yes, you should wear your masks, especially if you're going to be within 6 feet of each other because, it's the particles go and you sneeze and you talk and you... I probably touched my nose 40 times since I've been here. Just, it's
habit.
Yeah, it's just a habit. And so, you should wear your mask. It protects. It's not 100%, obviously. I mean, they've done tests where you wear a mask and they do the slow motion sneeze and still comes out everywhere.
Yeah.
But it does. It's a layer. It helps. For me, it doesn't help enough for me to wear it everywhere.
I've seen people with masks and they have like fishnet masks.
Right, just silly.
Like, okay.
Silly, yeah. Or by themselves,
that off.
by themselves in the car. Masks are becoming fashionable.
They really
now. Yeah, I saw one guy yesterday. I went to the Cowboy game. He was wearing a mask and he had his own face on the mask, so it looked like he wasn't wearing a mask.
Oh yeah,
which is funny.
That's too.
But I mean, yeah. But yeah, so I choose not to wear a mask. I just don't like things covering my mustache. I like my mustache, So I want it to breathe. That's my mask. Yeah.
That's how you know he's from the valley.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's true. Yep.
So what I'm getting out of it is vaccination is more for self, not for other people.
Well, yes and no. There's the whole herd immunity thing. So if everybody, it's kind of like smallpox. Like we have the vaccine, a lot of people got nobody gets smallpox anymore. Some people probably do, but it's almost eradicated.
And some people don't get the vaccine.
About it.
Right.
Do you think that it will become the vaccine will become one of our shots that we get, like the smallpox?
Mandatory.
My personal opinion, like I said, I speak for myself, not the health department's opinion. I believe so.
Right.
At this point, just because we're literally in a pandemic. I mean, some people just don't get it. We're in a pandemic. People are dying, man. They shouldn't be dying, and that's the sad part. But so yeah, I do, but that's above my scope.
Right.
I don't know if they're gonna do that or not, but I would say so. That's just my opinion. So
okay, looking around the world and the differences, how other countries are handling COVID. I say America's the worst country.
well, yeah,
in numbers.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be like we're rich and
We don't know how to listen.
educated here, but there's still rebellion against it. Why do you think? Because other countries, their numbers are way lower. Vaccinate, like they're easy to. Why do you think it's so hard for Americans?
We're selfish. We're spoiled. I mean, we don't want to be told what to do.
We're not used to that.
Not used to.
But
yeah,
see, we're a country where we're easily accessed. We can call you today and get our vaccine right away. But there's countries who are poor and they're struggling, and why don't we I mean, I don't know what we could do, but I just feel like if they don't want it, we should be helping other countries as well because we're privileged here. And
yeah, no doubt. So in the time since I started in January, people are slowly coming around a little more. I think don't hold me on this one, but I think it was like 47% of McLennan County was vaccinated. It was not even half. I've seen more people get vaccinated because they're seeing their friends die. They're seeing
it's at home.
Grandparents, and when it hits home and you see that 35-year-old that he's like, sorry, my phone.
Even younger than that, I had a friend whose brother and wife passed away, and they're younger than me.
A local school district last week. I won't name the school district because out of respect for the family and everything. They had a student die. A minor, between the ages 12 and 17. I'm not gonna say the age, but
yeah,
it's sad. It's a sad deal. You sit there and you watch families like losing their loved ones, and you see these patients. I see them firsthand, and it's sad. It's a sad deal. But as a firefighter, you just got to do your work and help them breathe. And that, I don't know. It's a tough deal for me because you can't get everybody. You're not going to convince everybody. And my job here is to make them available. I want to go into the neighborhoods. I want to go into, your lower incomes, your ghettos, your Hispanic community, especially Hispanic and Black community. They're not vaccinated. They're just not. I don't
feel like they've been educated on it.
That's a big thing. Now the health department, we're here in Waco-McLennan County Health Department. We have an education department. So if you call over there, they'd be happy to get you pamphlets but yeah. So us actually going into the parks, into the lower income, the housing authority, and the different places we've been. I mean, we're just out there making it available, and I'm trying to hire people that kind of look different. I mean, I look different. I'm not your normal health department guy. I'm a little rough around the edges, You're
relatable though.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. That's cool. But I try to hire the Spanish speakers and people that look like normal people. Mm-hmm. And God bless them, man. A lot of the nurses that work for me and the paramedics, and I even have a pharmacist. A lot of these people we're getting paid, but they're passionate about it.
Still, shout out to everybody who's on the front lines, like in the medical field. Yeah.
So with that being said, there's a lot of nurses who are against the vaccine too.
Right.
There's a lot of people who are losing their jobs because they refuse to get vaccinated. Yeah. Why do you think them as healthcare workers are against the vaccination?
Well, just because. So what I'm hearing is that there's not enough research. They don't know exactly what's in it.
Are they seeing, because I don't know, are there side effects, like serious side effects to the vaccines?
As far as I know, as far as serious side effects, as far as like where you grow a tail or,
That's what I thought.
Yeah, no. yeah. I remember you said that.
I mean, I want to tell, but.
Yeah, no. Side effects, I mean, it's too early in the game right now. There's still a lot of research.
And I think that's what it is.
That's
where the trust issues are, because
100%.
What are the side effects? Mm-hmm. You get all those, even birth control comes back a year later or so, and if you were affected by this,
it's a whole commercial.
And that's what a lot of people are scared of, is like in a year or two from now, where if you were vaccinated, COVID vaccine, you could be compensated.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. They can compensate me.
Right. I think.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one to call. Like I said, nothing's 100%. You can eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's, man. I've seen a chicken nugget that looks the same 3 months later in my car. You don't know what you're putting in your body ever. So, like, if you want to use that excuse, I just know I try to concentrate on the facts. The facts are that the vaccine is saving people's lives. Truthfully, firsthand, I'm seeing it. So. That's where I concentrate. You don't never know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know what's going to
What are some side effects that y'all have seen so far?
So the side effects from it, and it also depends if you've already had COVID. So if you've already had COVID and you get the vaccine, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get sick, as far as like fever, chills, nausea, sore arm. Sometimes they have a thing called COVID arm. I want you to Google that. Google that if you want. It's where your arm gets red, or but those are just normal things that go away after within 24 hours, or it should.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And that's just your antibodies. That's your antibodies, like saying, "Hey, what's this?"
Right.
And they're like, they start doing their thing, and so. But that's pretty much the.
Is that with every? Because there's
vaccine.
3 different ones.
Oh yeah, so we got Pfizer, you got Moderna, and you got Johnson & Johnson. The Pfizer came out first, Moderna came out next, and they were kind of close together, and then Johnson came out a little later on in the game.
Are there different ingredients?
Yes and no. So 2 of them, man, I wish I could get into the whole science behind them, because I can't explain it like I want to, because I'm not a doctor. But
do your best.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, this is a different virus than most, because it's an RNA strand, and doesn't change your DNA. It doesn't go into your nucleus, and that's where the DNA. Right. There's no way. It goes in your body, it goes in your muscle, and it disperses. Then your blood your antibodies find it, and it's like, oh, we're recognizing this. Yeah, and it attacks. So when you do get the real COVID, it already knows it's there. Like, oh, so we already know what this is. We know what's up.
Mm-hmm. We know what to do.
You're going to fight with one person, and you already know how he's going to fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know how to fight him the next time. It's a little better. It's kind of the same concept. The Johnson & Johnson's a little different than Moderna and Pfizer. I don't know how to explain it. I know one kind of goes I have a whole pamphlet thing you can read on it. It's real scientific, man. But I don't know how to explain it 110%. But I will say that these vaccines don't have a live virus in it. It's mimicked.
Okay.
It's a mimicked virus. It's got the protein spikes, and then so it's not. They're not putting actual COVID in you. It's something that's kind of. And like with the flu, they'll put a dead virus in.
Because I hear that. They're injecting COVID into you.
They're not. And even after you get the vaccine, you can't give somebody COVID unless you actually have the real COVID. Yeah.
Like, so you don't have to quarantine after you get your shot, your vaccine.
Not at all. Mm-mm. But if you're running fever, you should quarantine anyways, just because you don't know. I mean, just from that 2-hour gap that you got to the health department and got your vaccine to getting home, you never know.
Yeah.
So as long as if you're having fever, you should definitely quarantine. But that's normal. That's like one of the normal things. You get a little small fever. Looking from back to my first COVID shot, man, I woke up at 2 a.m. and I had like knee, elbows, like joint pain basically. Mm-hmm. And then the next day I had a bad headache. I don't get headaches really unless I'm hungover. That's a whole nother topic.
That's another vaccine.
Yeah, that's a whole other vaccine. Yeah. Give me some IV or something.
Right.
But yeah, I don't get headaches, and I had a bad headache, and then all of a sudden it just went away. Like, oh man! And I even went to work the next day. I was fine.
Yeah.
The second Moderna that I got, I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever. My wife, she took Pfizer both times. Nothing.
She was good.
She was good. Yeah. So.
With the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it's only a one-shot deal. Is that because it's stronger, or like why is there these two have 2 shots and this one has 1? Because I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. Like if I get the vaccine, it's probably gonna be Johnson & Johnson because the next time I probably won't show up or I won't remember.
Right.
You know, by the time
I'll send you an email.
Yeah,
That's
you're gonna have to find me because
Not really.
2 weeks, next 2 weeks gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be in a whole nother state or something. State of mind, state of mind for sure.
Yeah.
So I thought about just doing the one-time Johnson & Johnson, so I don't have to think about it again. But what is why is this only 1 shot and those are 2?
Yeah, and that's another question that, like Miss Kelly was here earlier, she probably would have been better to handle those type of questions.
Yeah.
But the Johnson & Johnson is made different than Moderna and Pfizer. I think one's a viral vector and the other one's an RNA strand.
Okay.
The science behind it, I wish I could sit here and explain it better to you.
No, one's just made to take 2. One's made to just to take
yeah,
the 1.
and right now,
But if you get either one, do you still need a booster for both?
So the booster thing, the whole booster, it's ever evolving and still kind of changing as we're talking right now. Even last week it changed. So right now, the 3rd booster is allowed for Pfizer and Moderna if you're immunocompromised, meaning the completion of your 2-shot series, which is Pfizer's 21 days apart, Moderna's 28 days apart. Once you complete those 2 series, if you're immunocompromised, for example, untreated HIV, cancer treatments, those kind of things, then 28 days later, you can go get your 3rd one for either Pfizer or Moderna. They just released right now, after their real research they did from 8 months after, the hard numbers that we were getting was Moderna, 8 months later, went from about 95, 96% effectiveness down to about 93%, where Pfizer went from 90-something down to like 78%. So now they're recommending a 3rd vaccine for Pfizer.
Okay.
So straight up, if you're 65 or older, you can get the 3rd Pfizer. And some of the other, if you're between the ages of 49 or 64 and to 49 or something, if you have underlying health conditions, diabetes, that kind of stuff.
So people need to really do their research so they know which one would best fit them.
Yes. So one thing, I'm real adamant about it in my clinics, if they come up to me and say, hey, which one should I get? I'm not going to answer that question. I can just answer with facts. Or I can say, hey, I got Moderna. Here's why I got it. Because you really need to talk to your doctor. Ultimately, that's the go-to. Like, we've had women come in there, I'm pregnant, should I take it? Talk to your doctor. Or they have whatever concern they have, and they're like, well, I heard Pfizer's less symptoms, I heard Moderna's this, that. Come back when you're ready. I want you to be 100% in the know of what you want for you and your body. I'm not going to sit there and, recommend one or the other because I can't. It's one of those.
One more question I'm going to let you ask here is okay. On the 3 different vaccines for Johnson & Johnson, because I'm really leaning towards Johnson & Johnson.
Me too.
It's a one-timer, get it done.
One time, yeah. But for those 3, how would you how would I do my research as far as side effects for different? Are they different side effects for different ones?
So no, that's the thing. So as far as side effects, they're all kind of have the same symptoms. Everybody's immune system's different. Everybody's different. Their body acts different. So if you got Pfizer and I got Pfizer, we may react differently. It's just there's no telling how it's gonna react to you. But I'm gonna shout out to COVIDwaco.com. That's our health department's website where we can all the fun facts, all the good stuff. And then I'm gonna leave this with y'all too. I got a little piece of paper there that has a lot of questions like, does it alter my DNA? Should I get it if I'm pregnant? Is there a microchip? It didn't even answer that little silly questions like that.
Yeah.
Trust me, if I was putting microchips in these vaccines, man, I'd be rich. I don't know how to do that. So.
Right.
And I'm the one vaccinating people, so.
I honestly feel like they've been talking about chips for decades.
Oh, you got your phone on you, right?
Exactly.
They know where you're at right now.
If they want you, they'll come.
Not only that, but I feel like if they wanted to inject chips in us, that's at birth. You know what I mean? That's in the hospital or something. They could already do that.
Well, they don't want to listen to my phone. I'm boring.
Right. So I want to know, what are the quarantine days? If you are to become ill with COVID, how long should you quarantine?
So different rule of thoughts, different people say different things. Initially, they were like 2 weeks.
Right.
Now they're saying 10 days from the
symptoms.
Positive results.
Or from the 10 days from the last symptom that you had.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're running fever, you don't want to be nowhere.
Right.
At this point, like me, when I was like before COVID, if I felt sick, man, I was going home. Like, I'm going to work. I ain't calling in. Like now, it's kind of like you got to call in, man. You can't because now you're putting people's lives at risk. Before it was just like I got strep throat or flu
right.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I got a duty to act. But no, it changes now. If you go to COVIDwaco.com, you'll probably get the whole recommendation there. We got epidemiologists there that are trying to study the whole cycle and when you should quarantine, when you shouldn't, and how, and all that.
And one more thing, when will the children's vaccine be available?
So there's talk right now going on. So Pfizer is allowed to be given to 12 and up right now. Okay, that's the one vaccine that we can give minors with a parent consent. They're talking about 5 and up, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's FDA, CDC, everybody's talking. It's ever changing. So once they release it and they start saying, hey, Pfizer's going to be allowed, you got to remember, we go to these clinics, people come, hey, I heard the FTC or the FDA or whatever said, hey, let me get this for my kid. Well, it's not until my medical director says so. Okay. Yeah. So we're at his mercy because he's the god of the health department. He's the guy up here, and we do what he says. We're kind of under his control there as far as medical. So when he says so, it's time. And, okay. But I feel it coming. Yeah. I've seen it evolve just from the time I started to now. It's like it's crazy how new things every day are coming out. Right. So we got to be on it. We got to be on top of all the the recommendations and stuff. So. Right.
Well, one last thing real quick regarding this. What are the numbers right now in McLennan County?
Oh, that's another COVIDwaco.com thing. But like I said, I think we don't even have half the McLennan County vaccinated.
But how many have COVID right now?
So if you go on McLennan County social media, Kelly, the lady that was here earlier, she releases that daily. Daily.
So we can find that.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with it like I should.
Look it up right now.
Yeah, but you can look it up.
I know that they were posting it every day last year, and I was like, my anxiety was out of the world because every day I'm looking how many cases, and how many hospitalized, and I had to just cut it off, like because my anxiety was getting the best of me. So I really
here's the one, the most recent one that they just put out. I mean, there's a lot of different numbers and a lot of percentages, and
it changes daily.
And it changes daily, and so that's
so it's saying 511 people are actively with COVID right now.
Yep, 511 active COVID cases as of October 8th.
Are those rising?
Yeah.
Or is it kind of stagnant a little?
That's a lot because I remember when it was like 180, and I was like, oh my God, it's a lot of people, and now it's 511.
So when the Delta variant hit, like I said, we saw a big climb. Like people were getting COVID cases. We had the most cases in September, like in
big wave.
Yeah, big wave.
Right.
Last month.
And so they were telling me the other day when I was in there listening to the ladies, gossip and stuff in the office. They were talking about there's like about a 50-day rise, and then it kind of starts falling back down, and then boom, it comes back and
spreads again.
And it spreads again, and people get comfortable, and they kind of get out there and.
But what about Delta? Like, how is there like more strands coming out? Like
because So that's a good question, Mary Jane. Yeah,
Because I'm like, what about what's the next strand gonna come?
This is like an animal protein virus, so it's never going to be evolving. It's never going to go away. We're going to have to get used to it and treat it. There's going to be more variants out there. It's going to happen. That's a fact.
Is this population control?
Man, you're trying to get me to do mass conspiracies.
I'm just.
So there is that. There is a lot of people saying that. I don't think so. I like to look at the bright side.
President during all this,
Yeah,
so everyone is like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because we had like during this whole pandemic, we've had two different presidents who our country runs the world. So y'all know how crazy our president was. He could have done anything.
No.
You never know, man.
But yeah, I feel where the people are coming from with their concerns. I do think it is important to get vaccinated if this vaccine would work and it's safe for everyone. A big question for me is, which I've heard this a lot too. We have viruses that have been here for years, STDs and HIV and cancer and diabetes and all these kinds of sicknesses that hundreds of years of research, and there's no vaccine.
I was just about to say that.
So
where is it?
what's the like?
Well, because with vaccines, it's for viral stuff.
Okay.
The flu is viral. COVID,
Polio.
Yeah, that's where the vaccines come in.
Chickenpox.
Yeah. So antibiotics don't do nothing for viruses. You see what I'm saying? So that's more bacterial, and so there's a lot of science behind it. Cancer is not a viral thing. You get cancer for different reasons. AIDS is caused by a virus, which is the HIV virus.
No vaccine
but look at
for
Magic
HIV.
Johnson, man. He's still out there, getting triple doubles.
But
he's
not
still
everybody
alive.
got
You know what I mean?
Magic Johnson's
That's
money.
true.
He got
That's
magic
true.
money.
Right.
But he's alive, man.
But
So
does he got the vaccine or?
There's a lot of new medications out there for the whole AIDS thing, and so technology has been awesome since 81 when it started. We've ever evolved, but it's because people took chances on drugs, and I don't know. I like to look at the brighter side of things, and not that I trust the government 100% because I don't, but I don't see how they would put this out there to populate, population control. I try to look at the good side of it where they did this vaccine, they were able to get it out there for emergency use. We're in the pandemic. 8 months later, it's working. In my opinion, it's working. People aren't dying. People are dying that are not
It's
vaccinated.
working by not killing people,
Correct.
but it's not
Correct.
working as far as not spreading it.
Right. So maybe if enough people get it, we can start doing the herd immunity. This is how we stop COVID.
Right.
You stop COVID by getting vaccinated. Honestly, if you take the whole world and vaccinate them today, does it stop? That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it end?
But it
Does
lowers.
Does it lower? Does it? Is it kind of like you get the flu and you live and you're fine and you move on, or are you going to be upside down in a bed in a
Guess
hospital
we won't
for a
know
month?
until they mandatory.
Right.
Say you
But
have to
there's
get
other
vaccinated.
countries that are highly vaccinated and their numbers are down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's research right there to show you.
Yeah, and like I said, since the vaccines came out, what are we 8-9 months since the first vaccine? So it's still all new. We're finding out every day.
Right.
But I like to, like I said, look at the brighter side of things. And also, my thing is, I'm gonna live life. I'm not gonna be sheltered. I'm not gonna hide in the room. That's what you want to do. That's cool. That's your right. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna ride my motorcycle. I'm gonna play basketball. I'm gonna do my things that I'm gonna do. Take the kids out and play and party and kids parties and within reason. But I'm not gonna be scared of it. I'm vaccinated. I've done what I can do.
Right.
And if I feel sick, I won't get around people. I
But
don't
we
wear a
can't
mask.
live in-
I don't wear a mask, but
We can't live in fear, though.
Right.
no, not at all. That's the last thing I'm gonna do.
And
Right.
I felt
Life.
that with the whole cancer thing because we don't eat right and we don't watch what we put in
Right.
our own body.
No, you're right.
People, do drugs and people, get alcohol poisoning and things like that, and it doesn't stop them from living their life. So that's how I feel about COVID. At first, I was, scared and
All of us
anxiety
were.
out of
Yeah.
this world, but then I had to be like, I've been doing that. I've been out here doing
No, for
crazy
real.
stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Crazier than COVID. Nah.
Putting myself
right.
in danger every day. Like,
I mean, you're pretty healthy, right? I mean, you're not,
right. And we both. I mean, I gave it to her.
She
you know,
did. She
I
gave me
like to
COVID.
say, how close are your friends if they didn't give you COVID?
Right.
She came around me while COVID. You know. So with that being said, you haven't had COVID.
Not that I know of, or anyone in my household.
Is it
that I know
possible
of.
to be immune
No,
to COVID?
I don't
Or
think,
do you
I don't
think that
immune.
everyone could get it?
I think people have had it and are getting their antibody test back, and they're like, I never knew I had it. How do I have the antibodies for it? Well, because you had it. You just were cool and lucky that you didn't.
That was
you
me.
know my biggest fear is getting COVID and not being able to taste a cheeseburger, man.
That's
or
what I'm
some tacos
saying.
or something. That man, I'd be
My
mad.
biggest fear is going around my grandpa.
Okay, yeah, see, and that alone
my
right
father-in-law.
there, you know?
And you not knowing.
Yep,
That's a
that's the
scary
thing.
thing because some people don't have symptoms
and-
and you're just carrying it and spreading it to kids and, you
So
know, everyone around you.
one thing I will
she
say
probably
about-
gave it to me and then I gave it to
Right.
her, but she didn't have no
Really?
symptoms.
Because I told you was with her on
She sits
Thanksgiving or
about
something.
3 feet away. You know,
No, not every day,
Okay,
not in
all
real
right,
life.
all Yeah, no, and you mentioned your grandpa, like the 65 and older population. I've been in the forefront of getting vaccinated. They're like our leaders, and they were the first ones to get
They
allowed
were.
to take it. And they were the first ones in line, man. These are also your
And they're
grandpas that
still
were
living,
in Vietnam and everything.
He's old school,
Where they just stood in
tatted
line
like this.
and got all kinds of vaccines before they went to Vietnam. And
don't
so,
trust
you know,
it.
shout out to the
Yeah.
veterans.
Right?
But yeah, they were the first ones in line. So I don't know, and they've lived a long time. So
Right.
Okay, we done got deep. Now it's time to go dope. We got some segments that we do on our show, so
right.
get
Should I
ready
be
to be in the
nervous?
hot seat.
Yes,
All
all right. So we have Artists of the Week. Any local artists that you are listening to at this time?
I mean, Scuba Belly.
Okay.
My boy Scuba, man. He's funny, man. I'm more of a rock and roll and Tejano, and you know, I'm not a big hip hop guy, but Scoob, man, he makes me laugh.
He's
Shout out to
a
Scoob.
different type of artist, but definitely one that we love as well. We had him on our episode.
makes
I don't
me
know if you
laugh.
got a chance to watch that.
I started watching. I'm about 10 minutes in. I'm busy.
Oh, go watch
Busy,
that
busy.
one. That
I
one
got
is
you.
hilarious.
Yeah, you can even like skip through it. It's funny. Wherever you stop and press play, you're
Oh, he's
gonna be
true.
cracking up.
I got some Scooby up in here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
just, you know,
yeah.
so,
Cool.
but other than that, that's not too much in the local scene. I like Ozzy Osbourne, man. Shout out to Ozzy, my hero.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm a
He's
rock
my
and roller
hero.
now. He is, man. But yeah, and a shout out to everybody in Waco trying to do it. You know, trying to make a name for themselves in the music business. And I know you guys are into the hip hop and all that. So respect to all the genres out there.
Right,
you know,
definitely.
That's cool. Okay, so we also have another segment, Tips with T.
Okay.
So this is just for any tip that you want to give out there, you know, make it good.
For you bald males, let me get my glasses off. So I have a whole process. I have to learn my process for shaving my head because I'm bald, man. I don't grow hair up top. I don't want to have that cul-de-sac going with the sides of the long hair. So I got to do what I got to do. And so I usually am wearing a hat. If I'm in the office, I can't wear the hat, you know, either a cowboy hat or fedora or something. But if you shave your head in the shower, okay, you get the you know, the shaving foam, you get it going. I go against the grain. I ain't scared. I get every bit of hair off. Here's where it starts coming in. You get that green alcohol, okay, and you get it in there and you put it on your head. Let it hurt. It hurts good. It's kind of weird, you know.
I feel good.
And then you double.
a freak.
Yeah, a little bit. And then you double down and you get in the hot shower and you get the green alcohol off and it burns even more. And then the big kicker is you get the Noxzema.
Mexican for you.
I know, man. You get the Noxzema, right? The face wash, and I put it all over my hair. That's why I don't got no more bumps in the back here. I got wavy hair, so I used to have them ugly bumps back here, and so that Noxzema kind of cleanses all your pores
That
out of your
helps
head.
that.
Yeah. And then I know I'm not done. And then you get the cold water when you're finally done taking a shower, the whole nine. The cold water on there closes the pores all up on your head. And you get out, and then I still wear Curve, man. 1998. I've been wearing it 22 years. I don't care.
I bet people still say you smell good.
Yeah,
Right?
I've been calling it the panty dropper for years. People get mad. You still wear Curve? I say, yeah, I buy it at Walmart, $20, and it still smells good. But then I get the Curve aftershave, and I get that, you know, get it going and nice and smooth afterwards. That's my little tip. Oh, a mustache wax. mustache wax and a little comb. I got my little comb and my mustache wax, and now you get the little hairs. I got wavy hair.
Yeah.
You are so high maintenance.
Yeah, I'm a little high maintenance.
And you know he's related
Tutorial.
to a stylist.
I'm a little
Because he
bougie.
knows how
I'm a
to open
little
the pores,
bougie. Yeah.
close the pores.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
just
All that.
brought me back to
Oh, yeah.
cosmetology. Like, he knows what he's
That's
doing.
as bad as I can do. I mean, take,
You know what you're talking about.
yeah.
You
though.
really do.
and my other tip is at least shower daily, man. Some people don't even do that. Wash some deodorant. You know,
My other
from-
tip.
Yeah, please. That's more important. So, but that's my little
Even
tip,
if
you
you
know.
skip the shave.
Yeah.
Don't skip the shower.
This mustache comes from the fire department because they don't let us have chin hair or
Okay.
beard. So, it's
So that's
his.
this good.
He's
as
like,
you
I
can.
don't have any.
I kind of push the limits
Pushed
on
it,
it, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So I just get my razor and go, I'm done. So, but it's kind of been like my trademark. I got my own little sticker with my mustache on.
Oh,
it.
that's
Post all
awesome.
that.
I
Yeah.
want one.
I got you. But that's about all I got for
That's a
beauty
good
tips.
tip.
Yeah.
That's
There
a
y'all
good
go.
tip.
Whole
You males
tutorial.
for you males with no hair up top. Embrace it, man. Go bald.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Embrace it and let it burn.
Twice.
Okay, the last segment we do is called Sexy 60. This is just give us 60 seconds of what you find sexy in anything.
Well, okay. And anything as far as like in a woman or
Anything.
Okay. Confidence, right? You gotta be confident. My beautiful wife, I kind of like her style. You know, she got the dark hair, light skin, big booty. She's gonna be embarrassed when she sees this, but that's kind of my thing.
She's sexy too.
She's
sexy,
Oh yeah. I don't get too much into the materialistic side of things. Confidence and funny, and that's where I'm at. Shout out to my mama too. Love my mama.
Yeah.
She's you know, she's my mama. I love her to death.
Yeah.
And so
Superwoman.
oh yeah. So other than that,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, we do got an event coming up. It's for the community. We like to do community outreaches, and so we're gonna do a trunk or treat event for the kids for Halloween, located at our salon on Valley Mills, October 29th, Friday, October 29th. It starts at 5:30. And we just want as many trunks as we can get. So if you have friends or anybody, your
Okay,
mom,
yeah.
or like if y'all got multiple cars, y'all pull up.
Yep.
And we just want trunks out there with candy just to serve our community, have somewhere safe for our kids to
Absolutely.
go trick-or-treating. You know, cars are going to be parked. No cars moving.
There you go.
So, you know, a lot of trick-or-treating in the parking lot, Jump House. We have multiple sponsors. So let's shout out our sponsors because some of them are even sponsors of our podcast. So shout out to them twice. Covered Clothing, Boost Mobile is on board now. So shout out to them. Elevate Smoke Shop, JR Renovations. We got Legacy Impressions. Rosalinda's Insurance. Shout out to Rosalinda. She's always sponsoring. Co-Town Tent, Dollhouse, Most Wanted Riding Club, Bread Camp DJs, A-Ray TV, Evil Shark Designs, Waco Royals, and also 94.5 The Beat.
See, that's a lot right
That's a
there.
good-
Yes,
Right?
we have everyone coming together. We don't need a lot of money. We just need to come together and we can serve our community. So.
And it's on social media if anybody wants to know like the address and all that information. Also, it's 416 North Valley Mills Drive.
Yes, and if anybody wants to volunteer, we need volunteers. We need costumes. We want to give out costumes as well. So if anyone wants to sponsor costumes for kids, we'd like to give those out. Anyone wants to pull up with a trunk to make it a great event, so let us know. We're taking volunteers. It's going to be in a couple more weeks, the 29th. So yeah, we're ready for that.
And also shout out for the drip to my cousin Dexter. It's Key, K-E-E, Keep Evolving Entertainment. So
Keep evolving. Yes.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that name. I love that name. So shout out to you. Shout out to everybody doing their thing in Waco.
Yes.
Everybody putting on. Shout out to my cousin Rico Roger. We did a virtual concert. Houston came into Waco and recorded all these virtual artists virtually, and he won the contest. He's going to the next round this Friday in Houston, so he's representing Waco. So shout out to Rico Roger.
there's a lot going on.
Right.
You have any shout outs you
I
want to
don't
give?
have any yet. I don't have any, but Waco is out doing y'all's thing. Y'all doing y'all thing, so keep it up. We also have the Waco Gala coming up.
Oh, yeah.
That's one event that we need to be looking for. So y'all, start getting ready.
Yes,
Start
yes.
getting
Waco
fitted
doing their
and
thing.
Most importantly, shout out to the health department.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out to all first responders
That's right.
doing their thing and making sure that our community stays safe. If we can get a fire department out there at our event,
I'm gonna make some
or
phone calls for y'all.
Even the health department out there, set up a table with questions.
I'm there. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get our community stop the spread, and maybe we'll get even vaccinated at this
come
event.
on. Let's
Maybe
do
we
it.
can do our
Right.
vaccine together.
I'm your guy.
you know?
Really? Because
I'm
that'd be
your guy.
good.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah. So if we can get y'all to, get out there and set up and maybe give out some vaccines.
And I got all 3 vaccines. I
Okay.
got y'all, man. Whatever y'all want.
I got what you need.
I got what you need,
Yeah.
girl.
All right, Pablo, let them know where they can follow you, where they can find you if they have any questions, or where they can get vaccinated today.
Well, today we have a clinic going on at.
Well, it's not today.
No, not
because this
today.
ain't
Today,
gonna-
okay.
But
Yeah.
today.
Today. So if you get
Tomorrow,
on
today.
Yeah, if you get on COVIDwaco.com and schedule a vaccine, it's a big circle on the front of the page. Just click on it, and it'll have all the lists, all the public clinics. I'm booking clinics every day. I probably miss like 3 phone calls being in here that I'm gonna call back, but it's ever evolving. It's 3 or 4 clinics a day. If there's no excuses out there, we're coming to you. We're making it convenient. We're coming to your company. We even been to the bars, man. We've been,
That's awesome.
come drink a beer and get a vaccine. I'm not
Right.
recommending it.
Take a shot and get a shot.
Yeah, double shot. So yeah,
There's
that's
ways.
good. See, like you're marketing, man.
Yeah, if I can help, I can help.
Yeah. And so, I mean, a lot of people know me around Waco. They got my Facebook. Just hit me up, send me an inbox message, or however you want to do it. I'm available. Just find me. Let's get you vaccinated, yo.
Awesome.
I mean, there's no excuses no more. We're all over Waco. So
Thank you so much for coming through. We had a good
Yeah,
time
good
with
times.
you, and it was very, very informative.
thank you.
Yes.
I was a little nervous, but hey, it's all good.
You
We made it, man. Thanks for having me.
It wasn't
Appreciate
that
it. No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Shout out to our sponsors for the podcast. Also, likes, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the bell so you can get notified. And we'll be back with more Chronic Conversations.
Bye.
Peace.
Later.
You want me to break it down? You want me to break it down? On your neck, I probably go down. Don't go too fast, baby, slow down. I pick you up and then I lay you down. Cause this what you want. Girl, I put it on. And we can go long. This is your song. Break it down.
Drive me crazy, it's hard to say. This has been a Rogue Media podcast.